What's up everyone, my name is PlatinumHowler, coach of your Delta Gligars. Today I'm bringing you my Week 7 match of the IBL versus Beta 20X and his Jumpluff Express. Kind of rhymes a little bit, that's cool. You can see his team over on the right side of the screen. Currently he is, I want to say, actually I'm not really sure, I'm not sure if he's caught up on games or not, but he's either, I think he's like 1-5 or 2-4 or something like that. Maybe 2-3, 1-4, I don't know. Regardless, he is near the bottom end of the standings in the opposite conference as us. This is an out-of-conference matchup. So, but he's got quite an interesting team for us to take on. So without further ado, we'll get right into this Garbodor that we're bringing for the first time since Week 1. It's basically just a suicide lead, get at some toxic spikes and or spikes, explode on everything that's not named Doublade, and then against Doublade we can actually Dark Pulse it with our phenomenal base 60 special attack stat, and it should be a guaranteed 3-hit KO against that thing. Yeah, definitely should be a 3-hit KO. Yeah, and we got weak armor so that we can be faster than things if he makes contact with us, so we can get a fast explosion off or an extra layer of toxic spikes or spikes off. Now you might be wondering, why would I bring a spike stacking Garbodor against a Gigantamax Corviknight that can G-Max up, click, G-Max Wind Rage, and just get rid of everything on the field? Well, that's his only source of removal. There's nothing else he can do. He can bring on his entire team to get rid of hazards that I set. So if he wants to get rid of my hazards so badly, then he'll have to bring in the Corviknight early, Gigantamax early, and burn it early, which in my mind is only going to help me later on in the game. So, and if he doesn't bring it in early, then his team's going to get chipped down by the poison and such. So, yep, that's what we're going for here. Next, we got our G-Max Duraludon. He has a Duraludon of his own, which cannot G-Max, but it is wise to go Timid Max Speed just to try and speed tie that thing if we can help it. Draco Meteor in G-Max form should just be obliterating Duraludon. We've got Thunder here, so we can hit the Corviknight with Max Lightning. Dark Pulse, basically just so we can hit Doublade, and we don't really need Steel Stab this week. It doesn't really hit anything that my other moves don't already hit. So, yeah, we've got Stealth Rock on here just in case. You know, there's a Stealth Rocks could be beneficial, and that extra little bit of chip on his team could help us, you know. Next, Rotom-Mow. I felt like I needed to bring Rotom-Mow Scarfed this week just so I could have something that outspeeds his Falinks after a no retreat. Falinks low key is pretty threatening to this team. He can just run like close combat. Like if he runs like close combat, Mega Horn, and a Rock Slide as his coverage moves, then he hits basically everything on my team super effectively outside of Garbodor, but Garbodor is not going to be lasting very long. It's going to die pretty early on. So I felt like it was really important to go to make sure that I had something to outspeed. This is actually not Trick. It has Defog because I felt like Defog would be helpful to potentially get rid of rocks. If I felt like rocks were being too much of a nuisance to stuff like my Arcanine or my Araquanid, then having the option to defog is nice. And other than that, we're just max speed to, if he brings Scarfed Duraludon, then we'll outspeed that as well. And because he's so frail on the special side, Thunderbolt should still be doing good damage to it. Leaf Storm, however, probably won't be doing much to it because it is 4 times resisted. But yeah, that's going to be the Rotom, pretty normal Rotom. So this Arcanine set is kind of funky. We're running my favorite item, Eject Button, because Incineroar is, if he just brings in Incineroar and clicks U-turn as I bring in my Arcanine, then he can just go into Dugtrio, click Earthquake, and knock me out right away. But I have eject button so that, did I want to be, yes, sorry, no, I was going to be Intimidate, even though there is some drawbacks in running Intimidate. Yeah, so if he U-turns, then eject button will activate, and I can switch out into, like, probably, most likely, I would go into Araquanid if I still have that thing around, and then that forces his hand. If not, if he goes for like a knockoff, then the eject button will not will not activate. Arcanine will stay in, and I can just do whatever I want against the Incineroar. So burn up, if a burn up I can use once, I can't use it, like I have to switch out before I can use it again. But if I get rid of my fire typing, then stuff like Inteleon and Dugtrio can't come in and revenge me as easily. So that's why I think burn up's really good here. I can burn the likes of Dugtrio, Corviknight, Falinks, Leafeon, stuff that I would like to hit with burn up. If I can't hit them, like if I've already used burn up while Arcanine is in, then I can at least burn them, and then weaken them with Snarl, keep my HP high with Morning Sun, stuff like that. We got speed to outspeed his Duraludon once again, and then the rest of the investment is mostly in physical defense so that we can take on stuff like Dugtrio, like Incineroar. Yeah, so I was thinking originally about running Flash Fire over Intimidate, but I think I'm just gonna go with Intimidate. Like, if he runs Mirror Armor Corviknight, then he'll bounce back the Intimidate at me, but I don't really care about that because I'm not a physically attacking Arcanine. And I'll also have to be really careful about Falinks because Falinks could be running Defiant. So if I Intimidate that thing, I'll actually be giving it +1 instead of -1. But at least I have Will-O-Wisp to be able to burn that thing if I get into a tight spot with it. So next we have Choice Banded Araquanid. This man does not have good defensive responses to water types. Probably his best one would be Leafeon, but still, like, nothing really wants to switch into Araquanid. Especially, this is a really good mon to drop in on, like, say, after Dugtrio traps something and kills something with Earthquake. Then Araquanid is a really good mon to come in after that because it can just click Liquidation and basically get another kill, and then he's got to bring in something to deal with me. So yeah, there's really no need for any other moves besides Liquidation on a banded Araquanid set. But we've got Leech Life, we've got Scald, and Sticky Webs just in case we need those up to be able to outspeed his threats. I don't count on clicking really any of these moves other than Liquidation. Yeah. And last but not least is a Sulfus Regenerator Reuniclus. This is the first time I'm trying this set out, and I'm hoping that it can come in clutch for us here. So we have Psyshock, as a Psychic Stab, so we can hit the... he also has a Goodra. He has 2 Dragon types, one being much more frail on the physical side, the other being frail on the special side. But so we can hit the Goodra on the physical side with Psyshock, and then Focus Blast for Incineroar, Duraludon. Knock off to just get rid of items on switches, so we can potentially get rid of Incineroar's Heavy Duty Boots or its Assault Vest, so we can get rid of Deblade's Violite, something like that. And then we have Thunder for the Corviknight if we need it. I don't actually think that Shadow Ball is that helpful here. The really the only thing that would be good against is the Deblade, but I'm not convinced I want to be staying in on Deblade regardless. So that's why I just ran Thunder instead, just to have something extra for the Corviknight. I think it's just more likely that Corviknight comes over Deblade. So yeah. They could definitely both come, but I think just having Thunder for Corviknight is always nice. You can never have too much for Corviknight, honestly, because that mon is really annoying to go up against. So that's going to be the team this week, and we will see you back shortly for the start of the battle. Okay, here we are back with the battle, all connected with Beta, coach of the Jumpluff Express. Beta 20X in the Jumpluff Express. Let's do it. 4 mons that I would expect to see for sure would be Corviknight Gmax, Incineroar, Inteleon, the 2 starters that start with IN, basically. Actually, no, there's Infernape as well. So Incineroar, Infernape, and Inteleon now that we got. I would think that Dugtrio comes too. Fucking hate that thing. Falinks is kind of a threat as well. The 6th slot, I don't really know what to expect. But we'll find out real soon. Shuckle. And okay, he did not bring Inteleon, he brought Leafeon instead. So Shuckle is totally fair. I expect that thing to set Sticky Webs. Very interested to know why he did not bring... why he decided not to bring Inteleon. So I thought that thing was decent against me. Not the best, but still decent. And Leafeon, I don't really know what's up with that at all. Falinks is kind of a threat though. So, I've got my Garbodor Sash lead. I don't know exactly how I plan to deal with the Shuckle lead on his end, which I'm expecting. Because he can get up both Sticky Webs and Stealth Rocks, which sucks. Good luck and have fun to beta. He's got a pretty comical trainer card, and a very colorful outfit, gotta say. Surprise, surprise, it's a Shuckle lead versus a Garbodor lead. So, I can pretty much get up whatever kind of hazard that I want. And so can he. So we're basically just going to be trading like all of our hazards right here. Oh! Okay, I didn't think about that. That's not the best. But now we can just drop in this thing. And I wonder if a liquidation kills. Sticky Webs are not the end of the world. I could set Sticky Webs of my own, but I'd rather just try to get rid of this thing. Are you sashed? Oh, sturdy. Okay. He tried to Encore me into Sticky Web as well. That's whatever. So, I feel like... the Shuckle's definitely dying here. He has to go into either Leafeon or Corviknight. And if he goes into Corviknight G-Maxes and uses Wind Rage, that is Corviknight. So I'm switching out 100. He is not, interesting, very interesting, he is not the Mirror Armor set. So, what is he going to do here? I should probably just go back into this. Is he gonna try to? Is he gonna set up all over me? I don't know what. I'm not too sure what's gonna happen. Did not expect to be in this position so early. I'm gonna end up most likely burning my eject button. Oh, he doubled. Okay, I'm fine with that. He doubled into Leafeon. I am fine with that. I am totally fine with that because you just got poisoned and I got in my Arcanine. What was he expecting me to go into? Sticky webs are still up though. I'll have to live with that. I get a free burn up here. Absolutely free. I have no reason to do anything else. Gonna switch out most likely into Incineroar, but this thing is now getting toxic as well. And I kind of want him to burn my eject button here, honestly. Oh, he's heavy duty boots, so he didn't get toxic. So the only thing that I can do to you now is click Snarl. Or I can just go into my Garbodor, get more hazards up. I don't like that play. I can conserve the eject button on my Arcanine, so I can switch it into Incineroar later. So if he hits me with an attack, ooh, I don't like seeing that. It's a good thing I switched out. I'm just gonna get spikes up. Probably just one layer of spikes, and then I may have to explode. I am sashed, so I can live any one hit from me. I think it would not be wise for me to let this set up any further, so I'm just going to go one spike, live with one toxic spike and one spike, and now click Explosion. He's going to be +1 speed. So my Rotom outspeeds him. My Rotom still outspeeds him. I'm not affected by the sticky webs. That did a lot of damage. I feel like Rotom should kill with Thunderbolt from that range. I don't really have another play. So, and I'm also not affected by Arena Trap. So, like, he can go into... You have to die to this, yeah. You're dead. Okay, so you can go into Dugtrio and be immune to Thunderbolt now, because obviously you know that I'm Scarfed. I think I click... I probably switch out this against Leafeon if he brings Leafeon in. You could have X-Scissor, and I don't want you to be able to knock me out with that. I could go into Duraludon here, or I could... This would burn the eject button. Yeah, I'll go into the Arcanine. I don't really know what this thing wants to do, other than potentially just click X Scissor here. But we'll get an Intimidate drop on him, and eject button should proc as he attacks us, or not. Swords Dance leftovers. So he'll only be plus... What do you even have to hit Arcanine outside of Dig? I'll just click Burn Up here. You might... Swords Dance Protect. So you only have 2 coverage moves. You can't be like Power Herb Dig because you have leftovers. I'll just click Burn Up again. He doesn't know that I have eject button. So he doesn't know that just attacking me is a good play right here. Perhaps I should have just gone into my Duraludon. But I think overall, if you can conserve the G-Max for late game, then you should do that. Ah! Baton Pass. Okay, that is interesting. So Baton Passing stats is legal. As obviously, I mean, it's a good thing that it is legal here, because you wouldn't want to be bringing, you wouldn't want to be caught bringing illegal sets, you know. But we should be doing quite a bit of damage to this with Burn Up. Not quite as much as I thought. So this is going to be +2 attack. I think I should be... This could be an issue if you've got agility. Remastered doesn't really do much anymore. So I'm going to pivot into that thing. Remastered was here to take on special attackers, and all he's got left is physical attackers. So... Okay, he went first impression. That didn't do very much at all. Wait, oh, he was... Okay, no, he was actually -1. Or +1. Because I intimidated the Leafeon, so he was +1 and not... Okay, fair enough. Yeah, we just click Psyshock to try to knock this out. But he's got Throat Chop for me too, so that... Yeah, that'll kill me. That's okay, Remastered didn't really do much here. Now I can just go into... so this thing is dead to spikes if it comes back in. So I can just go into Rotom, click Volt, and Volt Switch out against this thing. And then what do I drop in? Probably Araquanid. Or I could drop in Duraludon. I think I drop in Duraludon because Araquanid brings in Corviknight. Duraludon is 100% the correct play here. I can G-Max up. I will definitely be G-Maxing up. You might be able to stall out a turn of G-Max if you go into... No, he's just going to go into the Dugtrio. Okay, I have Shukaberry, so I will not be taking much from this. And will absolutely KO you with G-Max depletion. I mean, Memento is a possibility, I guess. But there's not too much I can do about that. At least I can switch out into something else on the following turn if I need to. But Duraludon should be, as long as he doesn't go for Memento and kill himself. Okay, good. So Duraludon's going to pick up another kill this season. That should bring its total up to... That should bring its total up to... That has to be banded, I would think. Doesn't really matter. But that's going to bring its total up to 14 kills. And it's possible that it might be able to get one more, maybe two more. Because Leafeon can't do shit to me. Corviknight I can hit with Max Lightning. Okay, he brings in this. He can protect to try to stall out my turns. But I just go for depletion once again. And, well, it's possible. This thing is so frail on the special side that it's possible even if you protect that once I could kill you with this attack into... oh no, actually that didn't do nearly as much as I thought it would. We reduce the PP of Protect. So that's fine with me, whatever. He'll be able to bring in Corviknight with my G-Max expired. But we just go for depletion one more time. Okay, he gets a Wish off. I'm concerned about the Corviknight being weakness policy. So I think my play is to just switch into Arcanine and get the Intimidate drop because he's going to heal any damage that I do to him on this turn anyway. So hazards for us still put in the work because this Corviknight is now the last Mon on his side. So we go into Arcanine, and if he doesn't attack us, like if he goes for a bulk up or something, we click Will-O-Wisp. That's 100% our play. Yeah, so luckily for us, he's not Mirror Armor, so we can get the drop against him. Iron Defense. I still think going for Will-O-Wisp is my best play. Because Araquanid I can sack off basically at any time now because he would just kill me with a max move. And there's no way for me to do any damage to him anymore since he's +2 defense. So Araquanid is fodder at this point. I think there's other 3 mons on the team should be able to deal with this. We need to land this. Yep, that's good for us. And he finally attacks us. So there goes our eject button. We can go out into we can eject out into our Rotom. And yeah, I think we go Rotom and I think we go Rotom and just Volt Switch. Yeah, we just go Rotom and Volt Switch. I think we can go back. I think we can go back into Arcanine. This thing is burned and already at -1. So I'm not really scared of... So he's not Weakness Policy. That didn't do very much at all. So he's got... After this, he'll have... I don't really need the differential at this point because my differential is so high. But I'm just trying to think, because this thing is going to be able to roost after it after its Gmax turns are expired. Yeah, it does 0. It does nothing at all. But I don't want to burn up. I don't want to burn up this thing while it's still Gmaxed up. So on this turn, I think my play is to go for a Snarl and just try to get a little bit of chip off against him, so burn up could potentially kill. And I am still faster than him, which is good, which is really good. Even under sticky webs, I'm still faster. This is gonna do like 2. It did 9. It did 9 HP worth of damage. So he'll get back up to -1 attack while still burned. And hopefully burn up kills from here. I have a feeling it's not going to, though. But we're going to click it anyway. And... oh, it did. Nice. Okay, cool. So that's a 4-0 win. Awesome. So, what was really scary? Falinks, we could have been a lot scarier if, like, he tried baton passing into it, but he let it. I think he just let it take too much damage. It just wasn't a threat. Like, I could easily pick it off with my Rotom because it was so low. So Swords Dance, Protect, Baton Pass. He had to have had an attacking move on his Leafeon, and had he known that I was eject button, I think just popping that right away would have been the better play. Because then I don't know how I would have prevented him from baton passing the Falinks so easily. So the Corviknight Iron Defense, I don't really think that was a great set against me because I just brought all special attackers. So yeah, like he showed that he had max knuckles, so he was body press for sure. But that just boosting his defense wasn't going to help him against stuff like my special Arcanine, my Duraludon's Thunder, my Scarfed Rotom-Mow. The Incineroar set was kind of scary, not gonna lie. Thankfully, the Garbodor's Explosion did enough damage so that I could kill it with Thunderbolt from Rotom-Mow. I think if I hadn't invested so much in attack and I had gone more into like special attack because I had Dark Pulse as well, then I probably would have had to sack something. I'm not sure exactly what I would have sacked, but I could have Volt Switched out, sacked something, and then gone back into Rotom. So honestly, Scarfed Rotom kind of saved our butt there against a set that we weren't necessarily expecting, but I think it's definitely a good Incineroar set, like Bulk Up, Flame Charge, Power Trip, and then last move had to most likely be Earthquake so that you could hit Arcanine and Duraludon. So that's honestly a really underrated set. more people should consider bringing it on Incineroar rather than just like the standard knockoff Flare Blitz stuff. So yeah, I actually would have been in a little... I could have potentially been in some trouble against that thing if I didn't still... with my Arcanine, because if I was expecting him to like straight up attack me rather than be set up, then eject button wouldn't have burned, and I would have gotten an Intimidate off against him at the very least, and then once I saw what its set was, I could have reacted accordingly. But yeah, so good game to beta. Go check out his channel, his side of the battle. And we are now 6-1. We've won 6 games in a row. I think our differential is now plus... I don't even want to speculate. I think it's like plus 23 now because that's a 4-0. So, yeah. We are in fine shape as far as differential goes. Next week is going to be against Sock and the Milwaukee Boltons. It will be an in-conference matchup. So be sure to tune in for that one. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like down below and comment as well. Subscribe to the channel to keep up with all of our Draft League content, and we'll see you back next week for Week 8.